welcome you watching the South special of the Property Show on NDTV Prime. Well, we do a simple job of taking your questions and answering them, and with the best data-backed advice. Joining me, Sameer Jasuja, founder and MD of Prop Equity. Here's what we have for you on the show today. Heavy rains have exposed Bengaluru's crumbling infrastructure. The big question we're asking, how have things become so messy, and what's the way out? We will take you to affordable micro markets of Bengaluru for housing options in a range of 50 to 60 lakh rupees. Also property picks in Hyderabad near the IT corridors in a budget of 45 lakh rupees. The Jayalalitha government plans a slew of measures to ease the approval processes for real estate. Remember, the real estate market has been absolutely stuck in a limbo for the longest time in Chennai. We're asking that big question, will it actually revive this sluggish realty market? We also go property shopping in Mysore today and cull out some of the best residential markets of this palace city. Our top story today is on the poster boy of South India, which is Bengaluru. Incessant rains in Bengaluru last week crippled normal life in several parts of the city, leaving behind waterlogged roads, flooded homes and severe traffic jams. While the government has said that this rain was unprecedented and the city will bounce back, the local authorities have blamed encroachment of lakes and stormwater drains for this mega mess. This might be one of the incidents, but it's certainly a wake-up call for the city. Bengaluru's traffic chaos is not new. We've been capturing it on the Property Show for a long time. And we all know for a fact that the city lacks infrastructure. We have with us today Harish Bijur, brand expert and founder, Harish Bijur Consultants Inc., and of course a Bangalorean, R.K. Mishra, member chief ministers BLR Vision Group, and Srinivasan Gopalan, CEO of Ozone Group, to discuss what the solutions are. Mr. Gopalan, I'm going to come to you first. Was it really unprecedented rain? Was it one-off, or do you think that Bengaluru is simply not prepared to take any kind of big rainfall, and we are still in the monsoon session or season?
Manisha, it's a combination of all the three that you mentioned. First of all, I also live in Bangalore. I was all the way here. I did not see the kind of hue and cry that was shown on the Facebook as well as on the television from time to time. Yes, it was bad. The traffic was bad, but it wasn't as bad as what it was portrayed to be. Having said that, there is definitely lack of infrastructure which needs to be addressed. There were some 30 or 40 trees that had fallen, and during these things it's practically difficult for anyone to manage under these kind of unprecedented rains. Okay. So what I would like to say is that infrastructure has to improve, but it's also important to see what kind of rains it was and how many years does it come, so on and so forth.
Okay. Mr. Mishra, let me bring you in here. I mean, there were a lot of articles, blogs talking about the fact that it was probably lack of technology in managing traffic which resulted in that kind of chaos. There was a lake breach, or 3 lakes were breached. All major arterial roads were inundated. Mr. Gopalan is saying maybe it was overplayed, but I have a long list here. I mean, there doesn't seem to be much of an exception. There was Old Madras Road, Hosur Road, Outer Ring Road, Banarghatta Road, Ballari Road, Veerasandra Junction, Nice Road Junction, below Electronic City. So really, would you say that it was just one of those off chances? Because any city can't be prepared for abnormal rain. Everybody prepares for just normal rain, isn't it?
No, I think first of all, this wasn't that severe a rain. People are not realizing. I am part of the Chief Minister's and Chief Secretary's disaster management group also, and we had on-the-minute monitoring happening on WhatsApp with Chief Secretary, DGP Fire and everything. And the rain in the whole of Bangalore for 1 week, the maximum rain was in a place called Bilekahalli, which was 250 mm, that's it. And that particular night the rain was not even more than 50 mm. So it was not exactly too much of a rain. The problem happened, and all the points and all the areas you mentioned, they all are in East Bangalore, and the East Bangalore is actually the maximum job center where the maximum commuters go. So if any time anything happens in Bangalore, the maximum trouble will be in East Bangalore, which is ITPL, Whitefield, IT Corridor, Outer Ring Road, Nice Road, Electronic City and things like that.
Got it.
So problem was, of course, rain was there, but the bigger problem was our stormwater drains are not clear. People have choked, the lakes which breached, Madiwala Lake and all that, it was not the lake. It was the stormwater drain which could not take away the water because slums have been built on the stormwater drain with the connivance of the officers and the local politicians. So having said that, it is no way to have a city like Bangalore which pays third highest tax in this country. IT sector alone is responsible for 63% of the IT export of the country. I think state government, municipality and the central government, I am really surprised why there is no reaction from the Prime Minister's office and from the Ministry of Urban Development, both for Bangalore and Gurgaon. Without Bangalore and Gurgaon and Noida and Pune, this country will come to a grinding halt. These are only three cities which create jobs.
Absolutely,
now if these are three cities creating jobs, these three cities are creating jobs, and Modi's after 2 years, his report card was saying the only one thing which he has failed miserably is to create jobs. Now if he does not wake up, if the central government does not wake up, and all these cities require massive infrastructure investment in the tune of 1 lakh crore, which neither Siddaramaiah nor Khattar can afford. So I think it is a problem of the country. It is not the problem of the BBMP. It is not the problem of Siddaramaiah. It is problem of India. These three cities, if you don't take care of, there will be no jobs.
Fair enough, Mr. Mishra. I think you've really very coherently you've actually summed up the problem for us. Harish Biju, this has really been a big knockdown. Last week you had both these cities, literally their tags of being millennium cities or the IT cities were ripped off and mercilessly. And I think Mr. Mishra said both Gurgaon and Bangalore were both drowning at the same time. What is it? I mean, where does the problem lie? There are thousands of crores of EDC which are collected from developers, which also don't go into building roads. You have MNCs occupying these areas, creating jobs. You have residential real estate coming up, but you just don't have infrastructure to match up. How are we going to fix it? I mean, and how big do you think is a problem in terms of brand image for these cities?
I happened to be in both the cities on the day of the rain. I was in Gurugram as well as in Bengaluru.
Oh my God,
if you really look at it,
I'm
both
already
these
feeling
cities were
extremely
disaster
sorry for
points.
you.
If you really look at it, I know. A traffic jam of 3 hours in one location, a commute from the airport back home, possibly longer than normal. If you really look at it, this was a disaster for sure. Because there are two parts of Bengaluru, one is called planned Bengaluru, the other is called unplanned Bengaluru. Unplanned Bengaluru is really where all the action took place. Because we have had irresponsibility. If you ask me what are the reasons for it, one is complete wanton irresponsibility of human beings. Secondly, a complete lack of following rules and laws by several builders, because we have responsible builders and we have irresponsible builders. And thirdly, the citizens themselves don't know what to do because the encroachments are so large. So the stormwater drains were blocked, and then there was flooding, and I think these are big issues. I think if you ask me what is the issue, the key issue is a lack of will. A lack of will to roll up your sleeves and sort out the problem. We tend to say, this happens every monsoon. The 2 days, there'll be a lot of media attention on it, and after that everybody will forget it. And I think that's the issue.
Mr. Mishra, I'm going to come back to you, and I've heard this from Bangaloreans again and again saying, and the same thing is about Gurgaon, that even though your maximum number of amount of taxes, like you've said, are coming from these cities, frankly, the vote bank is not in these cities. And you might say that this should be a central government problem, but I don't think you can absolve state governments or local municipal bodies like the BDA, BBMP. They also have, they have funds which have got misutilized. So are we saying that these cities don't get the attention because the vote banks aren't in these cities? Isn't that the biggest problem?
Absolutely right. So let me give you some numbers. For example, unfortunately, India, the cities are the capitals of the state, the mega cities, whether it is Mumbai, whether it is Bangalore. Now what happens, look at in Karnataka. Karnataka's GDP, 60% comes from Bangalore. The tax collection of Karnataka, 70% comes from Bangalore. 22% of people from Karnataka live in Bangalore. But the political representation is only 26 MPs, which is 11%. Now Siddaramaiah is not worried about 60% of GDP or 70% tax collection. He is worried about 90% of the vote. And Bangalore does not count there, because out of 220 MLAs, only 26 MLAs come from Bangalore. Same is the issue with any state capital which is actually feeding the whole state. Now take Bangalore out of Karnataka. Karnataka will have tough time managing it economically. Then why politicians are not investing enough into this? Is a golden goose, and you are killing the golden goose. The first and last chief minister who worried about Bangalore and invested in Bangalore was S.N. Krishna.
Absolutely.
Before that and after that, actually before that problem was not so acute, but after that successive chief ministers. It is the first time I am part of the government committees which we propose solutions. Now after 3 years of this government, first time in the current government, the budget was sanctioned as was requested. And that also speedily amount of 7,000 crores. In a 1,63,000 crore Karnataka budget, Bangalore gets only 7,000 crores.
Oh my God.
And
Okay,
Bangalore
you know what?
contributes 70% to the tax of Karnataka. Now how can you expect a city which is 1.2 crores with this small amount? So I totally agree with you, but let me tell you, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, I have given the proposal to Prime Minister's office for a mega city plan for 8 cities of India. If we don't do that, India will not be able to provide employment to its youth, and then our demographic dividend will become demographic curse.
Absolutely, and it's scary. I think the government does realize what a big problem it is. You're going to have social unrest if you're not able to provide jobs.
Yes.
Mr. Gopalan, come in on this matter per se. You know, real estate is facing one of the toughest times last 2 years, and you may say that sales have revived, but really pricing power has completely gone out of a market where there was not that much of a fluff. I mean, Bangalore is not a market where there was so much fluff. That market was anyway growing at 9 to 10% in terms of pricing. What happens now? I mean, it might be short public memory, but don't you feel that incidents like this really scare people? Why even bother investing large sums in a city where infrastructure is absolutely crumbling?
Yeah, in fact, you should look at it the other way around. It is the biggest opportunity for developers where the infrastructure is bad. Because when the infrastructure is not there, certain locations which are good, you charge a premium on those. Even if you look at Whitefield, you named a few locations. There are some places which are low-lying areas. There are some places which are not low-lying areas. The ones which have not got affected will charge a premium as of today. So it's extremely important that the infrastructure is done seamlessly across the city. For example, you look at it now. Today, a person would like to be in North Bangalore rather than in East Bangalore. As rightly pointed out, the action is in East Bangalore today, and slowly the shift is happening towards North Bangalore, and that is where the opportunity lies for developers today.
Okay.
Even in So it's extremely important that on one hand, all of us are saying that the prices should not go up. RBI came back very heavily on real estate developers, saying that you should not increase the price. But the real solution lies in providing seamless infrastructure so that time to reach a particular destination is less. Once the time to reach a destination is less, the prices will get evened out across. So these kind of situations are actually beneficial for those people. See, for the people who are already living there, it's a problem and no one cares about that, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Mishra, you have a point to make. I think Mr. Gopalan did say about infrastructure, and if I look at it, there's just so much pending in terms of infrastructure in Bengaluru. There is Nama Metro, so much more to be done, Outer Ring Road, so much to be done, Peripheral Ring Road. I mean, just projects, infrastructure projects just take forever in that city.
Don't move.
They just don't move. Give me a solution. I think we've discussed the problem, sir. Give me a solution. If there were two things that you could say on this show and say they could make next monsoons bearable for Bangaloreans. We're not even saying comfortable, we're saying bearable for all of Bangalore, especially those areas which were severely inundated, what would those be, sir?
Just two things. One, first, I just want to comment on the, about the gentleman who just mentioned. I think this mentality of the real estate fraternity that don't worry about the infrastructure, go where the flooding is not there. If you have that kind of mentality, if CREDAI had put enough pressure, by the way, CREDAI has politicians in their pocket. Only problem is they go and meet them only before the elections, give them money and then forget about it. If the CREDAI comes down and puts enough pressure on the politicians, I think things will improve, because CREDAI is not doing, they simply move out a place, create a mess in one place and then move out to another place. So that's one point. Now coming to solution. Two things. BBMP is 870 kilometers. BBMP does not have qualified engineers, does not have capacity to build the roads. Roads are very specialized subject. So like water has gone to BWSSB, power has gone to BESCOM. I have already suggested to Chief Secretary, he is considering it, take the roads and drains out of BBMP. Because in BBMP is a government. There are 198 decision makers. These are specialized, complex, projects. You need to take road building and drain business out of BBMP, give to a specialized agency like PWD did with K-Ship.
Okay.
When PWD could not build high quality roads, they brought a specialized agency like K-Ship. Focus on second phase of metro. Metro should have started from Electronic City and Whitefield very first place, because these are commute corridors. But it started from Baipanhalli where nobody lives. So I think second phase of metro is very critical. Peripheral ring road is stuck from 1986. That is very critical. Encroachment of Raj Kalway needs to be removed and lakes need to be cleaned. These are 3-4 points. If you do, Bangalore is a beautiful city. Nobody can beat the weather of Bangalore. And everything said and done. I have been to Bombay, I have been to Gurgaon, I have been to Delhi, I go to Pune. I will not like to be in any city other than Bangalore. It's a beautiful place.
Okay.
And we complain a little too much.
I think you've really given great solutions.
Bangalore is a great city.
Great city, great solutions, and I think to just come to defense of Mr. Gopalan, what he said is that developers are already charging a premium for those areas which don't get flooded, but everything in Bangalore and every area, every area deserves attention.
You want to make Bangalore.
No. What he said is every area deserves equal attention. Every area deserves equal attention.
No,
and I'm not so sure whether...
What I'm saying,
Go ahead, Mr. Gopalan.
Manisha, what I'm saying is infrastructure has to be seamless. It cannot be in patches. The same problem was faced in Mexico City in the 1970s. Our population has increased twice. We have seen their population increasing 4 times in 10 years. You need discipline amongst people. There was a 220 kilometer of train and rail that was provided there to decongest the city. Metro has to happen. We are 40 years behind schedule as far as metro is concerned. It connects locations where there are not people commuting.
So we have a consensus there. I think we have a consensus there, and everybody knows what the solutions are. Everybody knows what the solutions are.
Not only that, Manisha, I would like to add, Manisha, there has to be discipline amongst we as commuters as well. Now, we need to increase the bus service, and there has to be incentives for us to take the bus and not drive. Every family, because it earns decently well in Bangalore, has got 3 cars. Each one of them driving and taking the car at their own will. So obviously there has to be rationalization there as well. So it's a place where the government and people like us need to sit down together and resolve this, because I agree with the gentleman that Bangalore is the best city. I have migrated from Bombay to Bangalore.
Okay.
It's one of the best cities. It's 20 degrees during the day. Where can you find that?
All right, though I must say that this January was very hot in Bangalore, and that also is another big question and point of debate. Let me go to Mr. Harish Bijur. I mean, he's another gentleman who loves Bangalore. Mr. Bijur, sum it up for us. I mean, solutions don't seem difficult at all. They're all laid out. Everyone knows what needs to be done, and the city can have amazing infrastructure, but it's just not happening. I mean, what's your final word? Do you think that this will all be forgotten? This is a television debate. You know, 3 days later, nobody's going to remember anything, and things are still going to be crawling at their own pace.
Yeah. You know, I'm sadly very cynical about all this, because if you really look at the kind of pace of work or the kind of pace of interest or the kind of pace of involvement, I mean, I don't find that happening. So if you really look at it, I have a contra take on this. And my take simply is this, you know, I have a theory which I will put it as hashtag unbuild Bengaluru. You know, what is unbuild Bengaluru? It simply is a theory which says that we've built Bengaluru too much. You know, in this limited space, in this limited area, we have built and built and built. We have catered to the greed of everyone around. I mean, everybody wants to come into the city and everybody wants a job, which Bengaluru provides. And after getting that job, everyone wants to own a flat out here. I mean, you know, after 2 years of working, I want a flat. Even before my car, I want a flat. And guess what? Builders are catering to that. And there are good builders, there are bad builders, there are builders who encroach on lakes, and our lakes are gone, okay? They don't exist today. 97% of our lakes are encroached. And I think builders are very fairly responsible for that. The builders, the bureaucrats who help the builders, and the political bosses who actually shut their eye. I think these are three responsibilities which were taken for a ride. The last time we had good governance in this city, in this state, was S.M. Krishna. And I think, you know, we are really looking up and saying those were the good old days. But ever since then, I think Bangalore has deteriorated. I keep saying that, you know, we have lost it and we are losing it progressively. You know, look at encroachments. The encroachments are on the stormwater drains. Stormwater drains are meant for stormwater. But sewage gets into stormwater, garbage gets into stormwater. Garbage is a big issue. So if you really ask me, Bengaluru needs one nodal agency, one nodal entity, which actually oversees Bengaluru. So Bengaluru needs a CEO. A minister is not necessarily a CEO. We need a hands-on guy. I don't know. Empowerment of one individual who looks after everything, because today the blame game starts, you know, this is under BBMP, this is under BWSSB, this is under 6 other agencies which look after the city. So I think, you know, these are the kind of issues that are staring at us. I think unbuild Bengaluru, and that's what I tweeted out yesterday. Unbuild Bengaluru is possibly a solution, and that is about going against encroachments, unbuilding.
Right.
By that I don't mean bring down the buildings, but do something else.
I mean,
and going after encroachments, you know, that's important.
All right, a lot of political will. I'm going to sum up here, gentlemen, Mr. Gopalan, Mr. Mishra, and Harish. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today. And I think very, very valid points. And to sum it all up, it's really about having the political will to get things going, projects and infrastructure going, have seamless infrastructure, and maybe probably a CEO who will take responsibility for Bengaluru. That's extremely important as well. Hopefully the city will get the solution sooner than later. Welcome back. We've got Shruti Sharda on the phone line with us. Shruti, hi, go ahead with your questions.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I had a question regarding investment in the Budigere cross in Bangalore. So there are a couple of reputed builders coming up in this area like Prestige, Salarpuri and Brigade. And I'm particularly interested in Brigade Group. But the questions I have around is that Prestige just handed over its property and given its possession in June 2016. But the resale value for that property is still very low. It is around 3,880 rupees, wherein Brigade is quoting around 4,060 rupees right now. So going with this, I don't know why the resale value for this area is pretty low. So I just wanted to know if the return on investment in this area is good, and if there are other issues related to Budigere Cross in specific.
Okay, so you want a micro market review as well, and I'm sure Samir will do it. And all that I can say is that you're very, very lucky, Shruti. You're buying real estate at this point. Even really good marquee projects and resale market are quoting at below the price that they were launched at, and really it's nothing, it's no reflection on the market or on the developer. It's really a reflection on the time or the cycle of real estate per se. But Samir, what do you think?
Well, you're absolutely right, Manisha. First of all, the markets are really down, and probably the best time to buy for especially end users is now. With respect to this micro market, yes, this micro market earlier has been a dumping ground, and that doesn't go very well for good real estate micro markets, and now there is no dumping, so this area should improve substantially because of that. From a real estate point of view, there are a lot of developments now that are happening over here, and at one point in time going forward, this will become a hub for Whitefield, Hoskote and KR Puram. Currently, this part of the location is also not having corporation water, and is dependent on bore wells. This is also one very huge factor where prices are very depressed in this region. Coming to the data points of this micro market first, and then we'll take the 3 projects that you've shortlisted. Inventory overhang is still safe, 22 months. The weighted average price of the mid segment is 4250 rupees. From a price appreciation point of view, this micro market is at 5%, and that the reasons have been shared with you now. As far as the projects that you've shortlisted, all 3 projects are very good. Prestige Tranquility, of course, the project is partially ready, spread across 38 acres. Out of 17 towers, few towers are already ready and are inhabited right now. Good amount of amenities here, including a gym, space for a supermarket, health club and swimming pool as well. As far as the Brigade project is concerned, you can go ahead with that. Now, it's always an advantage to buy into a reputed developer's project which is getting started right now, because then you're going to get absolutely modern construction and state-of-the-art amenities which will be more futuristic if the project starts now. But keep in mind, it has to be an exceptionally reputed developer where your timelines will be met, your quality will be met as well. There will be no price appreciation or price escalation here. So this project also gets a go-ahead. It's spread across 10 acres of land, located on 2 kilometers from the old Madras Road. Although this project also has good amenities, clubhouse, gym, basketball court, swimming pool, and rainwater harvesting is also there. Lastly, East Crest by Satwa Group, another reputed developer out of Bangalore. It's slightly more expensive, so it gets the 3rd ranking. Project is located on the old Madras Road, 400 meters from Budigere Cross. Good amount of amenities here also, like the ones in the previous project: gym, swimming pool, amphitheater, jacuzzi, etc.
All right, so Shruti, really, I mean, the market has been depressed. Samir has already outlined the reason. In fact, on the price chart, you saw that in the last 1 year specifically, prices have come down. So only if you're taking an average of 3 years, you actually have returns of 5%. Otherwise, you've actually seen some amount of depreciation. It was flat at first, and then it has actually dipped down. So take an informed call on the market, though the projects that you've shortlisted are absolutely a go-ahead from our end. Okay, Prashant is on the phone line with us. Prashant, hi, welcome to the Property Show. Go ahead, how can we help you?
Hi, good evening. I'm Prashant from Mumbai, and I'm looking to invest in an under-construction 3-bedroom in my hometown, Hyderabad. My budget is around 40 to 45 lakhs. Can you suggest some suitable projects? The ones that I have looked at in terms of shortlisting is Aparna Canopy Unit at Goodloe, Champalli. So I want to know from an investment as well as a future rental standpoint.
Alright, so Aparna Constructions is actually one of the best or most reputed local developer of Hyderabad. We've recommended several projects of Aparna Constructions, and some of them have even actually won the NDTV Property Award. Samir, I'm going to challenge you to say Gundla Pochampalli, but I'm sure you're going to take the larger micro market and say Kompalli, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be safe. I'm unfortunately not married to somebody who's from South India, so don't have the same diction as yours. So I'll be safe here and say Kompalli only, which is the larger micro market. Aparna project, of course, like you rightly said, is from the Aparna stable, which is one of the top developers of that city. The project is also literally a township spread across 72 acres, although all of the 72 acres is not up for development as of right now. The specific project that you shortlisted is ready to move in, and already families are staying in the project. New projects where families are already staying is always recommended from our side. The project also has great amount of amenities, 12,000 square feet of AC clubhouse, swimming pool, basketball court and many other courts as such, like tennis, badminton as well. The micro market is extremely well priced at 2,700 rupees for the mid segment, and the inventory overhang is also safe now at 22 months. Price appreciation is not in line with typical good micro markets of Hyderabad, so it's at about 5.5% on an annualized basis, but there is definitely a catch up that can happen here. NCL Sindhu by NCL Homes is the other project. This is having a total land area of 5.5 acres. Here amenities include well-designed air-conditioned fitness center, swimming pool with children's pool, health club and steam bath and jacuzzi as well. The project has 6 blocks. 2 blocks are getting ready in August and December 16. Remaining 4 blocks are yet to start. Bobbili Empire by Delight Projects is the last recommendation, having an area of 2.5 acres. The apartments are located at Kompally. The project is ready to move in and families are staying in this project as well. The amenities are very limited here.
Alright, here's a quick summary of the projects that you can look at. Hyderabad Kompally is the market that we are speaking about, and a budget of 45 lakh rupees. If you want to buy a property or need any advice on buying a home, do write it to us at property@ndtv.com. We'll give you the best data-backed advice, price, what's happening in that market, social, physical infrastructure, and of course whether you're buying at the right price or not. Kishore on the phone line with us. Mr. Kishore, hi. Go ahead, sir. How can we help you?
Yeah, dear ma'am, I'm planning to book a 2 BHK flat in Sankalp Central Park in phase 2 at Yadavgiri, Mysore. And it's please let me know what's the advice for this project and any recommendation. Like size preference will be around 200 square feet.
Okay.
And my costing is around 72 lakhs.
72 lakhs, wow. And alright, Yadavgiri, KRS Road, these are some of the upcoming micro markets and really have some of the very well reputed Bangalore developers in this market.
Sure.
Samir, isn't it?
I think if they have to diversify and go to another city, now it's safer for them to be around and close to Bangalore rather than going on a pan-India basis, because many developers have burnt themselves by going pan-India, and now they're focusing on localized areas and cities around. The project that you've shortlisted, Sankalp Central Park Phase 2, is a project that you can go ahead with. The USP of the project is the location and the open spaces that it provides. The project is a prime location of Yadavgiri. Railway station is only 4 kilometers, bus stand 5 kilometers, and school and colleges are only 1 to 3 kilometers away. So we are also recommending you KRS Road besides Yadavgiri to give you more options. Coming to the key data points of both the micro markets, inventory overhang for Yadavgiri is 10 months, so very strong micro market, and KRS Road is 14 months but limited supply in both micro markets. The weighted average price of Yadavgiri is quite high at 5,100 rupees a square foot. KRS Road is far more affordable at 4,000, that's why we're recommending that to you. Although the price points of Yadavgiri are higher, but yet the appreciation seems to be reasonably better. 6% for Yadavgiri and 5% for KRS Road. The other 2 projects that you can look at are the Paramount Prime by Paramount Constructions. This project is having a land area of less than an acre, so very small project. Basic amenities, only swimming pool and gym, that's it. The project will be handed over by September 2016, so no execution risk whatsoever. Brigade Symphony is another project that you can look at by Brigade Group, spread across 7 acres, so a larger project located on KRS Road on the main road en route to Vrindavan Garden. Project has got great amount of amenities, 5 acres of open space, clubhouse with gym, indoor games and multi-purpose hall as well. It's 6 kilometers to the city railway station, and Infosys is only about 8 kilometers away.
Okay, so some of the projects recommended by our data, or which comes up actually through our data research. In your budget in Mysore, in a budget of 72 lakh rupees, are Paramount Prime and Brigade Symphony. We're going to be back to take more of your questions. Chennai and Bengaluru questions still in the pipeline, so stay with us. Welcome back. You're with the Property Show South Edition, and when we talk about South, actually one of the markets which has really suffered the most in the slowdown has been Chennai. Launches have gone down, buyer response has been very poor, and sales have also dipped in the last 6 months. Now, reasons have been really long pending approvals, dull approach to bringing in investment, and real estate stakeholders have been going and pleading to the Amma government to at least make the approval processes fast. Are things turning around? Is the state actually working towards making life easier for the industry? Smita reports.
It has been a slow recovery for the Chennai market since the December floods and the disruption in policy making with the 2016 Assembly elections. And that explains the 36% drop in launches and 7% drop in sales. A government which is difficult to approach and long wait for execution of projects have plagued its growth. But looks like the second term of the Amma government is in for a change. Hoping to boost the revenue of the debt-ridden state, it is finally executing a transparent digitalized system that will make the whole approval process quicker.
Once you submit it, you will never know where the file is. But this is something, the automated system, the moment file moves from one table to another table, an automatic SMS will be generated and it will reach the developer. I think that is the dream for us.
Single window clearance, reduced stamp duty, special provisions for affordable homes are top priority. Until date, builders claim the approval process takes a minimum of a year, and this delay translates to 8 to 10% of additional cost to the buyer. Sources say in 2 months' time, the first step of 60-day limit for approval processes will come through.
This time I believe Tamil Nadu will give a much higher score for itself in terms of the ease of doing business. So for instance, extensive use of technology for project tracking so that the much hated term single window truly becomes a single window.
CREDAI sources say the state is also looking at digitalizing records, cutting down on a few unnecessarily long approval processes like Tahsildar's signature for authorizing Patta land, Airport Authority of India and Metro Water approvals. Most importantly, a face-to-face interaction between the bureaucrats and the builder wherein all issues will be discussed and approvals for particular sectors can be sanctioned just across the table.
The post-election, this is what you call 2.0, the avatar which is there. So here it is very, very clear that the government has given very clear signals that we are pro-industry and we mean business. Tamil Nadu will not lose its competitive strength. We will fight and regain our market share.
Yet another major drawback for Tamil Nadu for losing out to its neighbors Bengaluru and Hyderabad in terms of the IT and industrial investment is the long list of shelved projects. Bringing in an IT policy and opening up new job markets is the need of the hour.
Foxconn coming in, a Kia Motors opening their manufacturing plant, your aerospace getting in a lot of investors in terms of R&D, their back offices. All that is going to create a lot of interest in terms of people coming in. And that migratory crowd will look at the unsold inventory in terms of either a rental or a buy.
Vision 2023 aims at completing 217 star infrastructure projects at the cost of 15 lakh crore rupees. If the government is bullish in its approach, Tamil Nadu could soon be the envy of South India. In Chennai with camera persons Ravi and Sukumar, Smita TK for NDTV. Loknath Panda on the phone line with us. Mr. Panda, hi, go ahead sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm Loknath Panda. I'm looking for a project in Sopa and Sapanika Samil Phase 2. So just want to know, it's good to go with that.
All right, Samir, what do you think?
Well, the project is a little off Whitefield, but you can go ahead with it. It has good connectivity to ITPL, malls and Whitefield railway station as well. The developer has completed several projects in Bangalore, so and they're also present in other areas in around South India. Considering your budget, we are recommending you 2 more projects in Whitefield. All the 3 developers are offering you a Khata, OC and CC, which is very important. Coming to the key data points of Whitefield, 23 months of inventory overhang, mid-segments weighted average price at 4250 rupees, and price appreciation is dipped down to about 6% on an annualized basis. Coming to the key data points of the other micro markets, other projects, Amrutha Heights by Amrutha Shelters. This is a 2-acre project. The project is got quite a few neighboring schools around this area. Amenities here include swimming pool, kids pool, gymnasium, multi-purpose hall and some other sporting facilities. Rising City is the last project by Malibu Projects. This is spread across 1.38 acres of land. Amenities here include swimming pool with toddler pool, a gym, indoor games room, multi-purpose party hall, and any of these 3 projects you can look at.
Okay, that's Bangalore for you, and Whitefield, 50 lakhs budget, Amrutha Heights, rising city. With that, we'll conclude today's show. Sameer, thanks very much for joining us. And to all our viewers, this is a reminder, property@ndtv.com. That's how easy it is to reach out to us, and do leave your full name, email address and phone number. That'll help us track you for your questions or any follow-up questions that we might have. From the entire team of The Property Show, thanks so much for joining us. Goodbye.